AI companies triggered a global memory shortage. Every major gaming console got hit with price hikes because of it. And even Valve, the one company that always gave us a fair deal, couldn't escape it either. Let's talk about how we got here. There are two things happening at the same time that are quietly making gaming more expensive across the board. And most people only know about one of them. The first one is the AI memory crisis. Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron, three companies that make roughly 90 to 95% of all of the world's memory chips, decided to shift most of their production towards high bandwidth memory for AI data centers. The result, prices went up roughly 90% in a single quarter. A kit that cost $90 was selling for $350 a few months later. Micron shut down their entire consumer memory brand, Crucial, after almost 30 years, just to go all in on AI chips. Did you know 1 gigabyte of high bandwidth memory for AI takes up roughly 4 times the manufacturing space of 1 gigabyte of regular consumer RAM? So every time they make memory for AI, they're not making 4 times as much consumer memory that was there before. And the second thing hitting at the same time are tariffs. The ESA, the trade group that represents the video game industry, warned that proposed tariffs could push console prices up by at least 40%. Consoles made in China face the biggest hit. Even those made in Vietnam or Taiwan are getting hit with a 10% tariff on top of everything else. So you've got an AI-driven memory shortage and tariffs squeezing from two sides at once. And every company passed those costs straight to us.
But wait! There's more!
Now here's where things get interesting. In March 2026, Google released something called TurboQuant, a compression algorithm that reduces how much memory AI systems actually need by up to 6 times. When that dropped, memory manufacturers' stocks fell immediately. RAM prices briefly dropped 22% in 4 days. OpenAI appeared to pull back on some of their massive memory commitments. So here's the question you should be asking. If AI companies suddenly need less memory, why didn't prices go back down for us? Because the manufacturers had already locked in multi-year contracts with AI companies before TurboQuant came out. They can't just flip production back to consumer memory overnight. And even after the brief dip, prices kept climbing. Samsung is up nearly 200% over the last year. Micron and SK Hynix are up more than 300%. The memory market is booming for them. Not for you, not for us, but for them. And on June 25th, 2026, just this week, a class action lawsuit was filed in California federal court against all three of them, Samsung, SK Hynix, and Micron. The complaint accuses them of using AI transition as a pretext, their word not mine, to cut production of regular consumer RAM and fixed prices. Commodity DRAM prices have gone up roughly 700% over 4 years. The lawsuit says that makes no economic sense unless these companies were coordinating. And here's why that accusation has weight behind it. This isn't the first time. Samsung and SK Hynix both pleaded guilty to DRAM price fixing back in 2005. Samsung paid $300 million criminal fine. SK Hynix also paid $185 million. Executives went to prison, so you just can't put it past these people. Now, I do want to go out and just note that these allegations in the lawsuit are improving. The defendants haven't responded yet, but the fact that 2 of the 3 companies have done exactly this before, that's definitely worth paying attention to. And while all that was happening, gaming hardware prices went up everywhere. Xbox raised prices 2 times in about 12 months, and they said that they was going to do it a 3rd time by 2027, the fall of 2027 to be exact. PlayStation raised prices. The PS5 Pro is now sitting at damn near $900. It is $900. Nintendo raised Switch 2 prices with another $50 price hike coming September 1st. Every single major platform, same window, same reason: rising component costs, global logistical challenges. And at this point, most people just kind of accepted it, because what are you going to do, right? Stop gaming? But here are where things get really interesting. Valve, the company that launched the Steam Deck in 2022 at $400, and the company that actually lowered prices on the OLED refresh in 2023 while everyone else was raising the price. The companies whose entire strategy was to sell hardware at a cost and make money on the software side. In May of 2026, Valve raised the Steam Deck OLED price by almost 50% overnight. The 512 gig model went from $549 to $789. The 1TB model went from $650 to $950. The Steam Deck, the device that launched the affordable PC handheld market, now costs more than a PS5 Pro. Like, really think about that. And Valve said straight up in their own statement, these new prices reflect the current state of component costs, other global logistical challenges. Same exact language every other company used. Even Valve couldn't absorb it. That tells you everything you need to know about how serious this crisis actually is. Now look, there's no confirmation either way on whether this was coordinated or not. The case just got filed. Nobody's been found guilty of anything. But here's the thing. When we're talking about this kind of money, Samsung up 200%, Micron and SK Hynix up over 300% in a single year, I wouldn't be surprised. We know stock market insiders put moves like this all the time. They coordinate supply, drive up prices, profit while everyone else pays for it. And these same companies already pleaded guilty to doing this exact thing in 2005. So you tell me. And then on June 30th, 2026, Valve launched the Steam Machine, their living room console, 6 times more powerful than the Steam Deck, running the same Steam OS designed to sit under your TV and compete directly with PlayStation and Xbox. The price starting at damn near $1,100. Now look, that's expensive. Reviewers have been split whether the value is there, but here's what most people are missing when they compare it to a PS5 or Xbox. When you buy in a PlayStation or Xbox, here's what you're actually signing up for. A system where they can shut your games down whenever they want, a library that can disappear when a licensing deal expires, a subscription you need just to play online, VC systems designed to drain your wallet, server shutdowns that wipe out everything you built. We've covered all that on this channel. We've seen it happen. It's not speculation. Valve's model is slightly different. Your Steam games, for the most part, are yours. There's no mandatory subscriptions to play your games. Valve doesn't shut down old games or delete my purchases. No VC trap, no FOMO shop. The Steam Machine at about $1,100 is expensive, and I suggest just building your own PC for that kind of money because you can still get a respectable system. And upon further research, come to find out, some multiplayer games will not be able to be played on here because for some reason, it's something to do with like secure boot or verifying something with the anti-cheat for most games. So just keep that in mind as well. If you spend $1,100, and on top of that, you still get access to these Steam sales because you still get Steam if you build a PC. So it's not the biggest deal in the world. Now, here's the part I need you to sit with. This isn't temporary. Analysts are projecting that memory shortages caused by AI demand will persist into 2027 and possibly 2028. One analyst believes that even until 2030. Tariff policy is still shifting around. The lawsuit just got filed, so there's no outcome yet. No telling when there's really going to be an outcome. And every company has already shown that they will pass the cost on to me and you, the consumer, the moment that they cannot absorb it, even Valve. So here's where I land on all this. The Steam Machine isn't a value play in the traditional sense at damn near $1,100 because it's not cheap, but it is the right play in the sense of value that you don't have to pay for online. And on top of that, you get access to Steam, but more specifically, the Steam deals, the sales. And on PC, games are just a lot cheaper in general. So, but the question you should be asking isn't, is this affordable, but it's what am I actually paying for? Because on this channel, we've spent the last few months documenting exactly what you're paying for. When you buy into the other platforms, the server shutdowns, the deleted libraries, the VC traps, the price hikes with no added value, it's like Valve just got hit by the same crisis as everyone else, but they're not charging you twice. They're not shutting down your games. They're not running a VC trap on the side. In a gaming landscape where every company is finding new ways to take more and give less, I feel like that matters. Now, that pretty much does it for this video. Drop a comment and tell me, at what price point does a gaming device stop being worth it to you? I genuinely want to know where you guys sit on this.